Well, hello everybody. Tom McCarthy from Big and Scott Corporate Direct with my fellow Corporate Director, Russell Cambridge, who has had another stellar month down at his office in Richmond. A sensational month, Rusty. What do you look at me like that for?
Oh, it's so good to be here with you, Tommy.
It's a bit like going just down to the local pub, isn't it, Russ?
Well, can we just move this and do it behind the bar?
Yeah, that would have been my preference, but it's a bit early in the morning. Russell, but we do need to get to the affairs of the day, which is to talk about your terrific month. Now, obviously, what the tendency is to talk about why the month was so great and all the rest, but
Yep.
I probably want to talk to you about, if you had the month back again, how could you make it even better?
Yeah, and thank you for giving me the heads up on your question, because my answer was going to be, of course, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
In the words of Frankie Goes to Hollywood's War, absolutely nothing. However, first thing I thought about was we could have tweaked the sale process a little bit, right? So I think it's very important at the moment to jump on offers. As soon as you get an offer in, and if it's got a little bit of a saying, and it sort of resonates, and don't take this the wrong way in that we're underselling properties or anything like this, but at the moment, with all the negativity, close enough is actually kind of good enough, isn't it?
There's no heroes in this market.
And if you get the ball rolling, you sign up that offer. And it was interesting, we were talking about this with Bill Stavrakis, how good was Bill, by the way, on the panel?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
How we were talking about the old-fashioned styles of signing up the offers and putting it under people's nose and then getting it countersigned and taking it back. Why don't we do that more often? We should be.
Russell, it's amazing you said that, because yesterday I did an interview with Dean for Salesman of the Month. Had an outstanding month.
And well done, Dean.
Yeah, and we talked that very same thing. We talked about, if you're on that line ball, rather than go and sign it up on RTA and take it, do it electronically, get it on a piece of paper, because if you have to leave it behind on the table, it's an unavoidable object at the vendor's place. They've got to walk past this living, breathing document and make a decision around it.
Yep.
So there are a lot of things that we can hark back to that, put under the old way of doing things, but they actually do work. We're a belly-to-belly business, aren't we?
100%. And, it's not only about convincing that owner to take more, but you might also be able to get that owner to commit to a figure that they will take, that you can then take back to the purchaser who goes, you know what, close enough is good enough as well on the other side.
And didn't Bill explain that beautifully the other day?
He was so articulate. It was great to have him in the fold there. Terrific. So the other thing that we discussed as well, pivoting quicker. By that I mean we are not putting on all our auction boards and brochures the actual date of the auction. So if we haven't secured a reasonable offer to trigger off an auction early in maybe week 1, 2 or 3, we'll then push it back 2 or 3 weeks with a price adjustment, of course. And there's the other one. Maybe we should be getting price adjustments a little bit quicker as the negativity comes through, because price adjustments doesn't mean the vendor takes less money.
No, that's a very good point. So explain that more.
A price adjustment could bring in 2 or 3 parties that then you've then got an auction, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about underquoting here or anything like that. We are talking about making a price adjustment that gets people's attention back to a property and shows that maybe that vendor is actually realistic with their pricing, that they come back to the fold. You might get 1 or 2, then you can play each other off, get an offer, see if anybody wants to better it, and you've got a semi-auction or boardroom auction underway. So, price adjustments in either direction help.
Well, Michael Tynan in my office is a master at getting price reductions. And the thing about our business, Russ, is that an owner doesn't go through the process of presenting a home, appointing an agent, doing all the appointments with the agent, handing over a cheque for $10,000, signing an authority, and as they do that, they don't hand it across and say, "Oh, by the way, please don't sell it." I mean, they want you to sell their home, and the way to navigate that in this current market is through price price adjustments is through being flexible with your open for inspections. So they're the sorts of things that I think all of us can bring into our business.
Well, that's the last thing. And don't forget, in Melbourne, the way we do things, we've quite a substantial advertising budget. Our vendors have skin in the game, so they're not on the market just for shits and giggles, are they?
No.
Excuse me, French there, giggles,
Giggles,
French
yeah.
word for laughing. They're there for a specific reason, and that is to sell the actual property. And as you mentioned before, more open for inspections. So private appointments should automatically be converted online to a 15-minute open for inspection. If some other buyers come through at the same time as your private appointment does, well, it adds pressure to both parties and shows interest. They're not the only party interested. I like Sunday open still, Tommy. We do open for inspections on a Sunday. Not only is it a great opportunity to find more buyers, it means that mum and dad can come back and have another look. It can mean that mum and dad who are rushing to get there and only had a quick look through because of school sports or whatever, or they just come through on the Sunday, get the opportunity to have a look at the property. And of course, if we're looking for sellers, the neighbours are out and about usually on a Sunday. So
isn't it amazing? Like everything old is new again. When we did Sundays for 25, 26 years of my career, it was a great listing tool actually, Sundays.
So to answer your question right from the beginning, we did 31 deals, and I think we probably, if we'd done all of this, we probably would have done 31 deals.
Oh yes, yeah, that's very, very subtle of you, Russell. Now, no, I'm sure you would have done more. Now, switching gears a bit, the importance of a rent roll in these tougher times cannot be underestimated. So,
couldn't agree more.
Your business itself, I think when you took on, if I'm right in saying, had 110 properties or something?
Yeah, look, Chris used to hit us with these numbers. I think it was 40 odd, but yeah, when I sort of kicked in there, I think it was about 120, 130 or something like that. We never acquired a rent roll until this year. We did acquire a very small one. We're currently sitting on 2,800.
Yeah, amazing.
And to answer your question, we leased, I mean, we talk about and we brag about all the time how many sales we did. The leasing department did 90 leases. Yeah. The turnover in property management, properties in property management is far more greater than it is in sales, the activity.
Well, I think the hidden thing about a rent roll that a lot of people don't understand, and perhaps for the directors out there, the significance and the importance of a rent roll. Yes, you've got the annuity income, which is fabulous when things get a bit tighter. But
Reoccurring income.
Yeah. And then you've got, at the moment, it'd be fair to say there's not a lot of investors out there, right? Nope. Reinvesting in the marketplace.
Yep.
If you've got a good leasing team and the leasing team, or good BDM, and they're out and about digging up properties to come onto the rent roll, you maintain your rent roll, and yet you're still selling a lot off it. And so if you looked at the figures of your 31, what percentage of that, this is a question I haven't asked this before, but what of those 31s would have been off the rent roll?
Oh, easily 50% of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, without a decent rent roll, without a decent rent roll, it'll be a different story. And I think, if I could if I could go back in time and put more effort into one thing, it would be on the property management side. But the sales side is the sexy side of our business. But gee whiz, that property management, you don't realise the significance of that until times like today. I love it. Tinkering.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's such because there's so much activity going on in it. It is truly fantastic. But it is interesting to say the number of investors coming into the marketplace are down. I don't actually get that because you get a better return from a property.
Yeah, you do.
If you're cashed up, if you had $1 million, for instance, why wouldn't you buy 3 one-bedroom flats and rent them out? You're going to get a better return than you would in a bank.
Yeah, look, I agree. The issue is just, at the moment, it's just the environment we face ourselves in. It's a cycle. It's a cyclical thing.
Yep.
So we know it's going to return. We know that's going to happen. But if we could say one thing to directors out there who have a focus on sales, start focusing on your property management, because in times like now, it really is amazing to have. There's so much more. I mean, there's exposure aspects to it. There's referral aspects
boards
to
everywhere.
It. Boards, online,
advertising.
It just goes on and on. So it actually snowballs. So that's my little takeaway from the month.
100%. So there was another point to this, but it has eluded me. So we cut this bit out.
Well. Can we swear now?
We can. Giggles.
Okay. Now hurdles. Going forward, there's in our business, I don't think there's ever a time when there isn't any hurdles. It's just how you navigate those hurdles. What do you see in the next 12 months going forward for your business in Richmond?
Yep.
Where do you see the road blockages, the issues that could present you?
Yeah, look, staffing issues.
Yeah.
Finding new staff is required, particularly in the property management field. Throughout the COVID era, I think there was a lot of pressure on property managers who've reassessed their desire to be in the industry. I think that will change.
Yeah.
It would be sort of handy to sort of look to other industries that also maybe having that same impact through COVID to do a bit of a swap.
Yeah.
Other obviously rising interest rates. I think that's going to plateau somewhere in early to mid next year, and there still will be that desire for people to swap and change, get bigger homes, downsize, move areas for schools, etc., etc. So I don't think sales will completely come to a grinding halt. I think it will still continue.
No.
It probably will continue to have that extra need to hustle the deal.
Yeah.
But good salespeople love all that, don't they?
Which we had already covered early on. So, the things I'm finding in the real estate world is that when I first started in this business, marketplaces took forever to turn. Like, they were big ships, big boats, and they took forever to turn around. Now that pendulum swings really rapidly.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about the last 3 years, we've gone from potentially having a shortened real estate government was going to be, a shortened government which was real estate unfriendly, and so the market went boom.
Yeah.
Then Morrison got elected and went boom.
Yeah.
Then along came COVID, it went down, and then we realised, well, this is the greatest thing ever, and it went back up, and now we find ourselves in an increasing interest rate environment, all within 3 years.
It's interesting, isn't it? When we talk about there's been a 10% increase in prices, that could actually happen in a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people go to auction after auction after auction and suddenly see all of them have jumped by that amount, and all of a sudden it stays at that 10% increase. So we actually get caught off guard quite rapidly.
We run behind the market.
Because of these sudden jumps. It's not this straight line.
Yeah.
It is a sudden jump in prices, and back the other way a little bit. For instance, we noticed in recent times how the first week and a half, 10 days after interest rate increase, the inquiries dropped right off. But day 11, bang, it started happening again.
Yeah.
And the same number of sales came together. So, interesting times.
Well, it's just that pendulum is just so quicker. So my view is, my personal view, and bearing in mind humans are terrible at predictions, so I'm going to give you one. My personal view is that...
I knew you were going to say that.
Very funny, Russell, is that this time next year we might even see interest rates start to come off a bit. There you go.
Oh.
There you go. I've said it here.
Fantastic. But what I've got out of this interview today, Tom, is that it's the best industry in the world, isn't it?
It's a brilliant industry. What's to hate?
How much fun.
People say, how do you work Saturdays, Tom? Okay, what do I do on a Saturday? I get up, I have my breakfast, I go to this place to have breakfast, I get the car washed, I come to the office, I got my opens, I got my auctions, we sell them, happy vendor, happy purchaser, go to the next one, do the same thing. Why isn't that something that you look forward to?
Oh, and when you got a Saturday off and you tap the wife on the shoulder first thing in the morning and you give her a wink and she goes, what do you want? And you go, I was just wondering what we're going to argue about today, hon.
Should we cut that bit out? No, I think that's probably more of an insight into your relationship, Russell. Now, who's going to win the World Cup?
I think Brazil. I did think France had a strong chance, but the players have been dropping off like flies. So I'm going to say Brazil, but my heart is in it's coming home, Tom. You know what I mean by that, don't you? Football's coming home. England.
Anyway, look, let's see how things all play out. That's Russell's field of expertise, not mine.
Go England.
That wasn't so bad.
Can you cut some of that out?
Welcome to Mercedes-Benz Toorak. Here at the Home of Luxury, our friendly and knowledgeable team are here to showcase and demonstrate to you the Mercedes-Benz of your dreams. With a remarkable range of demonstrator vehicles here on site in Toorak, why would you choose to buy your next Mercedes-Benz anywhere else? Bookings are essential to secure your VIP test drive experience this weekend, so reach out now. We look forward to welcoming you to Mercedes-Benz Tourak, the home of luxury.